politicians, the American Constitution is in danger. The executive branch has expanded in power over the years, allowing for the president to act above the law and over you guys, Congress. Just to remind you politicians, let's take a brief history lesson. September 17th, 1787, the Constitution was ratified by all 13 colonies. The Founding Fathers made the Constitution to implement a separate form of government from the previous British rulers. One of the Founding Fathers, James Madison, suggested the idea that to avoid a tyranny government, America must implement a basic principle of checks and balances. Checks and balances is the power granted to all three branches of government that can check the powers of each other to balance the government power. The legislative power was granted by the Constitution as the most supreme ruler. So how come the presidential power has expanded far more than how the Founding Fathers intended? First, let's take a look at where this power has expanded. Political science experts say that presidential power has expanded over the past several decades and under the fact that Congress has done nothing to stop it. For example, Sarah Glazer, a writer from CQ Researchers, states, traditional breaks on presidential power have been diminishing in recent administrations, including those of Trump and Presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton, because Congress has shown little stomach for resisting executive incursions. Meaning these presidents have disrupted the constitutional process that only allows Congress to pass treaties and policies, not presidents. In a specific area where this presidential power has grown is in domestic affairs and foreign policy, due to the ever-growing bureaucracy. Consequently, Congress is losing its control in areas of policy and domestic affairs, where the Founding Fathers explicitly wrote in the Constitution that policy and domestic affair belongs to congressional power and to control these areas. The expansion of power in the executive branch has allowed presidents to act as though they are above the law. Political science expert John J. Patrick states that presidents have also augmented their authority through extensive use of executive orders to achieve policy objectives. These executive orders are evidence of how presidents can act above the law and push their own political agenda forward. An example of this power is the use of signing statements. Signing statements happen when a president signs a bill into law, but adds or changes parts of the bill to accommodate to the president's own ideal. In President Bush's administration, he used his signing statements to reauthorize the Patriots Act of 2001, which in short, the signing statement Bush used implies that Bush can be secretive when it comes to foreign policy, which is intended to protect the nation. But protecting the nation by keeping secrets and maintaining a relationship with other countries allows the president to act above the law. The United States government was not created for presidents to have authority over Congress. The Founding Fathers specifically wanted Congress to have power to override the president to keep the president from going above the law. Signing statements are an example of how a president could abuse this power. Politicians need to be aware of this potential danger. Political polarization has affected Congress significantly in the recent decades. The split House between Democrats and Republicans has affected the process to pass funds, policies, and even bills. But the Founding Fathers did not intend to have a divided, polarized government. The intent was to have Congress working bipartisanly in efforts to pass these policies. With Congress not coming together to get their job done, the president then can oversee Congress and act above the law. So Congress, how can you fix this? So Congress, it is time to remember the root of your job is not to meet the needs of just your party affiliation. It is to protect the citizens of the United States. Wake up, Congress. It is time to introduce an amendment that clearly states the power and limitations of the executive branch. Executive power cannot continue to expand. The Founding Fathers of the United States of America never intended a presidential supremacy. The American Constitution specifically declares the legislative branch the utmost supreme branch. Know that Congress is constitutionally inclined to superior power over the other branches. It is now or never to protect the basic principle of checks and balances before it is too late.